G'day guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're actually going to be speaking about a proposed Magic round. So this video was previously made by Nick from Australia as a live stream, so I thought I'd jump on board. But before I get into it, obviously my intro is about to roll in a minute. I'm going to be speaking the title of the video about round 1 in 2022 NRL predictions. There's some rumors going around that these are the fixtures in round 1, so I'll get straight into it after this, guy. So if you are here today on Tuesday, the 12th of October, thank you for watching this video. Today is actually my 22nd birthday, so I'm really excited to put some content out on my birthday. But let's get straight into it. The first game that's meant to be kicking off the season, last season we had the South Sydney Rabbitohs and the Melbourne Storm, two heavyweight contenders, and I don't think two heavyweight contenders in this game, but the grand final runners-up, the South Sydney Rabbitohs, they're going to be without Adam Reynolds for the 2022 season, and they're apparently going up against the Brisbane Broncos, which means Adam Reynolds would verse his new club, would verse his old club to start the season. Now, this game will be played apparently at Stadium Australia at Homebush, so it makes a really interesting contest there. I think the Rabbitohs probably, I don't know. We'll wait and see in the off-season how trials go, how different things go, so I won't give my tips. But Bunnies versus Broncos. Broncos opened up the season last year with the Eels, and the Eels and the Broncos was not the first game of the year. That was for the reboot of the season last year. But anyway, Rabbits, Broncos, the proposed opener for the 2022 season. Moving on to the Friday night, the first game at 6 o'clock. We had this in round 1 last year, and it's going to apparently be the Canberra Raiders going up against the Tigers. Now, the Tigers, not many signings besides a few Super League signings in the off-season. Tyrone Peachey, welcome to the club. I'll speak about them more in my season review, and they don't have a good record against the Raiders, let alone at GIO Stadium. The Canberra Raiders missing out on the top 8 spot, but starting the season with a pretty easy opponent with the Tigers there. Now, this makes for a really interesting clash at Penrith Stadium. The Penrith Panthers, the 2021 premiers, going up against the new-look Canterbury Bulldogs. So you'd have players like Matt Burton, Brent Naden going up against their old club. I love when players go up against their old clubs. And I think the Panthers and the Bulldogs will be very different to what we saw in 2019 and 2020 in regards to these two sides. Could be a really interesting contest to kick off round 1. The next game is the Manly Sea Eagles and the Gold Coast Titans. Normally these sides play out a pretty good game. Last year the Manly Sea Eagles kept the Gold Coast Titans to 0, and this game would be at Brookvale. Obviously, I really look forward to games being back in Sydney. I guess I'm looking forward to the Cowboys, Broncos and Titans games being at home as well, and hopefully the Warriors get some home games. It would be great to get some games here to attend and do some game day vlogs. Also, just on the game day vlogs, guys, if you head on over to Rugby League History over on YouTube, make sure you go and comment on his community tab and vote for me as the game day vlogger of the year. You've got the New Zealand Warriors. Now, this game is against the Sydney Roosters. Always a decent game here. No Roger Tuivasa-Sheck. Life without RTS starts. Sydney Roosters probably getting a lot of their injuries back with Luke Keary probably in the starting side, which will make it really nice. Moreton Daily Stadium, Redcliffe or Mount Smart Stadium. So this game potentially could be a Warriors home game, depending on the situation. And that's at 5:30 on Saturday. Now, the season is starting on the 10th of March as well, guys, apparently. Melbourne Storm taking on the Sharks at Amy Park. Melbourne Storm obviously going out in the prelims, so they're going to want to start the season well. Their bogey team, the Cronulla Sharks, going up against them, and Nico Hines and Dale Finucane, a lot of players going up against their old club once again. And then Sunday at 4:05, we knocked them out of finals in week 1, and it's the Parramatta Eels taking on the Newcastle Knights. This game is at McDonald Jones Stadium. Always love the trip up there to Newcastle, or down. Are we up or down? I don't know. Up or down. But going down to McDonald Jones Stadium is always a good time, and Knights and Eel is rumoured to be on Sunday the 13th of March at 4:05. And the final game for that round, which I've seen a few times in round 1 or 2, it's always towards the start of the year. And this game will be at Kogarah, which is of the St. George Illawarra Dragons up against the Cowboys. A few new signings for the Dragons. A lot of people expecting them to have a bad year. And the Cowboys, they finished in 15th, so they're going to have to start the year. But guys, those are the round 1 2022 predicted lineups, apparently. But let's get straight into this. This video, I obviously titled it for the round 1 predictions, but I also want to get into my own proposed Magic Round, which will probably be around May next year. So let's get into what I would do for Magic Round. So let's get straight into this 2022 NRL Magic Round. We had the 2021 Magic Round, we had the 2019, obviously 2020 didn't go ahead. Had a lot of fun at Magic Round, and we're going to be revisiting some of those games that were previously there in 2021 or 2019. I think Magic Round's a fantastic concept, and once again, thank you to Nick from Australia for coming up with this video idea. On the Friday night, I'm going to start with the Sharks and the Dragons. Now, these teams back in Sydney are Sydney rival, and there are quite a lot of Sharks and Dragons fans. If they're coming up to Suncorp Stadium to watch their sides play, we've got to have some rivalry between the sides. So the Sharks with Nicho Hynes, Dale Finucane, I mentioned, in the side there on a Friday night to begin against the St. George Illawarra Dragons. I think it would be a treat. Now, this is interesting because this game has never been at Magic Round, but at Suncorp Stadium, Friday night, the Broncos and the Cowboys, 2 Queensland teams with a huge rivalry. Let the Sydney fans, let the people coming from friggin' WA, wherever you're coming from, to watch some footy, let us see the Broncos and Cowboys close up in person. Watch it go to Golden Point. We love the classic days. So I'm putting the Broncos and the Cowboys on that schedule of Friday night around that 7:30 slot. Moving on to the Saturday 3 o'clock now. I think we may have had this game planned at some point, but we didn't have it go ahead. And I'm going to put the Knights and the Warriors. It was a very close game in 2020. I had to put some, games in there, but I'm going to go the Knights and the Warriors for that game. We'll give the Knights the home advantage there, as the Warriors had it in 2019 against the Dragons. And did they have it against us? I think they had it against us too. So there you go. Knights home team. The next game on Saturday at what would be around 3 or 4 o'clock, and it will be around 5:30, and I'm going to go with the Titans and the Rabbits. We had the Rabbits and the Sharks in a decent game at Magic Round last year. I'm going to go the Gold Coast Titans here, a top 8 competitor against a top 8 competitor. Rabbits smashed them when they recently met. They're going to be a different side. I think it'll be a decent game, so Titans and Rabbits to warm us up for the main event of the Saturday blockbuster. And the Saturday blockbuster is going to be the Parramatta Eels versus the Melbourne Storm. The Storm are going to want to be vengeful to beat the Eels after being beaten twice in the season by the Parramatta Eels. And look, they beat them in finals when it mattered last year, but Parramatta starting to get the wood over the Storm, and the Storm at Suncorp, they're hard to beat. So look, I think it'll be a great game to watch the Eels and the Storm again. Last time it was 64-10, so there'll be a lot riding on the Parramatta side. And I really look forward to it if it returns to Magic Round. Next up on the Sunday, we've got some decent games here, and I'm going to go first with the Manly Sea Eagles and the Raiders. These teams don't have I guess they've kind of got a rivalry as such, but they always produce a really good contest. The Manly Sea Eagles were a very competitive side in 2021, and we'll see that next year, I think, as well, as long as they're injury-free, especially our player of the year, Tom Trbojevic. And then the Canberra Raiders, they miss out on the top 8. They're going to be fired up. They're going to have Jamal Fogarty up against this Manly side. Very interesting game on the Sunday afternoon there. Now, a little bit of a filler game here, but I'm going to go with the West Tigers and the Bulldogs. Bulldogs, lots of new recruits in their side, and then players returning from injury like Nick Kotrick, but Josh Adokar going up against someone like David Nofaluma. I think it'll be a great contest. And then you got someone like Matt Burton going up against Adam Dewey. Plenty of points in it, I'd expect. And a Sunday afternoon Tigers-Bulldogs encounter. And the Tigers are going to have been kept to nil by the Bulldogs straight in the back of their head. And the final game to finish off the Magic Round draw, I'm going to go with the Penrith Panthers, the 2021 premiers, up against the Sydney Roosters. These sides met in the 2020 final series. they produced a really quality contest, and with the Roosters back at full strength, they can compete against this Penrith Panthers side. So I'll recap that again. We're going to start with the Sharks and the Dragons. On the Friday night, we're going to go with the Broncos and the Cowboys. Saturday, we're going to go with the Knights and the Warriors, the Titans and the Rabbits on Saturday afternoon. Our night blockbuster, returning for the first time in 3 years, is the Eels versus the Storm. On the Sunday is going to be Manly Seagulls taking on the Canberra Raiders, the Tigers and the Bulldogs on Sunday, and to conclude Magic Round is going to be the Penrith Panthers and the Roosters. Guys, if you like this video, make sure you do subscribe to the channel. What day is it? It's Tuesday, so 2 days I'll be putting out my NRL rebuild for the Penrith Panthers. Tomorrow you'll be seeing my Cowboys season review for the NRL as well. Hope everyone has a fantastic day. Like and subscribe to the channel. Follow me on TikTok, EntertainYT, and I'll see you guys.